When the morning's standing at your door, brighter than all mornings come before. Don't be late, my dear. Life won't wait, my dear. Don't be late. When the day is longer than the night, the road ahead is clear.
Fill up my MSR dromedary, and then my system is filling this guy up here. It's about 6 liters, and then it goes through the auto flow cartridge. I've been using this for 5-6 years, replaced the cartridge a couple times, and I really love this system. I think it's just great. And then I fill into a 10-liter larger dromedary, and that becomes my camp water. And that's a lot, you know, you're not filling up all the time. I fill this twice, not even. This is filled and I have 10 liters, and I really like it. I also have a 3-liter. It's nice to have in the boat. You can use it as a platypus, but I can't find my little platypus attachment. I'm not going to buy another one. I'm going to wait till I find it. It'll turn up. And what I usually like to do is backflow the cartridge first. It just helps clean it out, and just helps it to flow faster on the first fill. So to do that, you need to have some pressure. I'm going to release it. Good. Flow goes that way. So that's usually where you'd go, but I'm going to go here and I'm going to back flush it a little bit. Just to get some of that brown out. You can see that brown. So it starts flowing. Then I'm going to attach the little stopper at the bottom now, here. Reattach this. Now the flow will be going, but it's stopped here for now. On it goes to the dromedary. Let the filling begin.
It was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire, reckless it seems. We found holes in these walls, we like what we saw. Seems so strong until it falls, the final straw.
but it's nice. It cooled down here. The breezes kicked back up. The black flies came out. And I'm looking forward to getting in the new hammock and swinging the night away. Somebody left a book for me, so I'm going to get into that. I've also got the Raven Algonquin publications. They're super cheap. You can get them at the kiosks around. And it's the Raven was the newsletter from like the 60s to 2003. And so they've compiled recently and published a series of articles and made little books out of them. And they're like $3, $3.10 for a 50-page book that I'm going to read. And fish stories around Algonquin. Isn't that amazing? And I have a few audiobooks that I might get into. You know, just gonna have a great old time. Just me out here swinging away in the breeze. Nothing like a sandy beach to welcome you to Happy Isle. Here it is right here. Oh, this is great. Really looking forward to spending time on this lake.
I know we
about halfway through this 2.2K portage, and you get into this zone where it's like the portage zone. You're just in the zone. Your body somehow numbs the pain, and you just keep on moving, and you don't stop until you see that lake in front of you, and it's going to be awesome. Oh, I am very much looking forward to spending 2 days on this lake. It is beautiful. I'm going to set up the rod. I met some guys on the trail that give me some good tips for what they're catching and where they're catching them. So I'm going to give it a shot, so maybe I can have a shore lunch. That'd be nice. Yeah, okay. Oh, it is very warm. It is like 30 plus degrees. That's the stuff. So I always wanted to come here. But a 2.2K portage right off the bat. It's a little unappetizing, but it looks like we're gonna get a site on actual Happy Isle, and that'll be great. The guys that I ran into said they just left that site. They left a bunch of wood for me all cut up. And it's the best site on the lake, hands down. Happy Isle. We have a little dock here, I guess, and some steps. Looks like the water's kind of low. Yeah. All right. Classic. Another bar over here. We have a little chair kicking. Nice tidy fire pit. Oh, these guys are awesome. Looks like some split wood in there. Good to go. Oh yeah. The weather coming this way. That's exactly where I want to go now. Beautiful day today. There's my camp. I guess I'm gonna go back to camp now. I was just headed over there to cruise the shore where those fellas that I met on the portage said I should go. Turned around halfway. There's this weird layer of pollen that's about 1 meter or 2 meters down below that looks like swirling grass. It is trippy. Trippy. gets pretty trippy. Anyway, I better get off this water before I conduct electricity. So I've been checking the forecast all day, and the Zoleo forecast said it was going to be about 0.2 millimeters at around 7 p.m. But mentioned nothing of thunderstorms or crazy lightning. So I was halfway out to this fishing spot, about a K into, like 1 kilometer into the lake, and this storm just came up out of nowhere. And I was going to challenge it. I thought to myself, well, there's a site over there I can get on land at least. And this giant fork of lightning was like... But it was far away. Like it hit on Opeongo somewhere, probably, judging by where it looked like it struck. But so now I'm just hanging out under the tarp here, beside the old hammock, and doing a time-lapse video of the storm rolling through and having some snacks. Some of these bland snacks. I really want to eat a fish. Like, I am starving. And today was so hot. It had to be 35 plus. Easy. I don't do well in the heat. That is a pretty epic downpour right there. Wow. Serious? The sun is shining, and like I said, that's coming down towards me. And that's number one for the old hat trick. Happy to have this Laker. Thanks, buddy. All right. So we're doing this fish and butter. It's a little much, so let's get that. Yes. Try this right here. So fried in butter with some Rocky Madsen's fish crisp. Oh, so hot. Oh, so good. A little rich with the butter. A little rich, but it's good. Bad little breakfast here. Okay, so here we are on Happy Isle. I stayed here on night one. Did the huge paddle across the bay, just kidding. And did this portage. double backed it, and then I'm staying right here on the island on Happy Isle. So what I want to do today is go check out Merchant. It's only 3:30, and then there's only a 70 meter portage into Chicory, and it doesn't say species here, but there are brook trout in there. The other day in Opiongo, I saw schools of hundreds of perch right against the shore, like little guys, like little perch. And obviously because the trout are in shallow and hunting, so they're getting as shallow as they can, but I've never seen that before. I've seen minnows and things like that, but not perch. It's really cool. So I'm going with some perch. But I'm not having any luck casting. That was right to the boat. Stay tuned. So here's all this broken rock. And this lake's great because it has several main lake points. You can sort of cruise over the shoals. And this perch lure, I think it's an X-Wrap or Shadow Wrap by Rapala. It brings them to the boat, big ones too, and they're just not committing. I tried a few different things, but only this is keeping their interest. So. The portage to Merchant. It's in this nice secluded little bay. Water's crystal clear. You see like 20 feet down. So we just fished along here. These main lake points, great fishing right there for spring lakers. So many follows. Nothing came through. This portage is beautiful, and I'm going up and around here into Chicory and hope for some brook trout. So I'm going to keep all my portage stuff intact and just go there right away. If nothing's there, then I'll come back and do some merchant fishing. Are they shallow or have they gone down? Perseverance pays off. It's not the brookie I was looking for, but I did get another laker. So I am going to have a shore lunch with this guy, and that'll be my dinner, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the time fishing because it's probably about 3:30, 3 o'clock. But yeah, there it is. I had a couple on the lake. It shook me again, but perseverance pays off, people. This was my last run after saying it was my last run for 3 times. All right. this lake was supposed to be brook trout, and only. And I got a laker. So I wonder what the other two that I had on were. I keep talking about the fish that I don't have because it's very frustrating. I've had so many fish on. I've hooked up more times than I have in a long time. And to not be able to bring them to the boat, it's like the camera's a curse. Oh, that is so good. Straight up fish and water. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. Oh yeah. Okay. Back on Merchant here. Sizable lake, Merchant. Serious nor'wester. A nor'wester blowing ahead of me here. It'll be right into the wind. But this is where I got a laker. Well, had one on before, so I'm gonna give a couple passes here and see what happens. But I'm getting pretty thirsty and I'm down to about a cup of water. And I got another portage and probably about 6K to go altogether. Small portage. 340. But yeah, heck of a day. A heck of a day. Oh, here's an excellent example of a walking birch, also called silver birch, also called yellow birch. The seeds of the yellow birch are really feathery, and so they can germinate on twigs, on rocks, and on stumps. And sometimes when it germinates on a stump, the stump will rot and just leave the roots of the birch exposed. And that's why, with its legs showing, it's called the walking birch. You know what? Doubling back isn't so half bad. You get a chance to go for a hike without a load. You get to check out all the things around you without a canoe on your head, you know? Pretty cool. Ooh, including red trilliums. Like this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? So this is a red trillium. And it's characteristic by its color. It's red, burgundy-ish. And it has some different adaptation or evolutionary characteristics than its partner, the white trillium. For instance, the smell that it emits, the odor, is pungent. Therefore, it attracts ground insects and decomposers, whereas the white trillium is fragrant and attracts flying insects. So at one point in time, they just said, "Hey, you know what? Let's do our own thing," and now we have this guy and the other guy over millions of years. And you know, doubling back's not so bad. You get to stop and smell the flowers. Oh. Got a little troll happening here. Also got a little bit of this over here. Which is pretty sweet. Full moon, moonrise fish. Little pad thai in the boat. Got a soaker, no big deal. Today was a pretty good day. 4 portages, all small. 2 new lakes I've never been in. Shore lunch, very hot. Rationed my water. Don't feel dehydrated, feel good, feel energized. Got back to camp. Got wood going for a fire tonight and to boil water for the pad thai. I'm gonna have some of that delicious lemon water again. And go to bed and wake up and go to Red Rock tomorrow. 1.3K. Supposed to rain tomorrow, but not as much. It was calling for about 20 millimeters, and now it's only calling for 5, which is amazing. Good morning. Slept in a bit. Slept about 10 hours last night, which I didn't plan on, but feels good. Gonna pack up. Gonna have breakfast on the go. Might boil water for coffee. Might forego it for later, but we'll see what happens. How fast I get packed up here, and the boat packed up and head out. Yeah. Goodbye, Happy Isle. So, wilderness is a very interesting thing when you talk about perspective. You talk about the perception of wilderness. What wilderness is to one person is completely different to another person. For instance, somebody might come into New Lake Campground in Algonquin Park and feel like they're in the wilderness and feel like, wow, this is intense for them. And yeah, it's just interesting, like the concept of wilderness. What is wilderness to one person? Wilderness to me, parts of Algonquin are wilderness, but it's very occupied. You know, there are a lot of people, there's a lot of human interaction. But you get one portage in and you see moose, loons, and bear, and eagles, and you know, it's sort of just enough to be able to experience these things. And also the perception of, are we a part of this? Or are we separate because we've conquered and mastered it? I don't think you can ever master the outdoors, because when you're at the mercy of Mother Nature and weather, it's a force. Even that thunderstorm that blew in, which was pretty fierce, you know, I was at its mercy. I was hunkered down. I was in my hammock, in my tent, bundled up, because there was nothing I could do. It was that intense. It was sideways rain and just thick as a carpet. There's the portage to Red Rock. Sandy all along this whole shore. tiny. It's the first white trillium I've seen. Howdy ho! Red Rock Lake. Alright, this is gonna have to do. I'm gonna get the camp set up. And this is where I'm staying tonight. Big day tomorrow. Look at all these bugs. There's these guys too. Just hanging out. A lot of bugs. Don't like it. Alright, so found a pretty decent site. It's across from the island, but a lot more openness, I guess you could say. Yeah. So I'm going to set the hammock up back here, and I'm going to set the tarp up and get a little twig stove action going right over here. It's pretty tight. That's tight. That's pretty tight. Safe and dry under the tarp here. The temperature dropped dramatically from yesterday and this morning, like 15 degrees, 20 degrees almost. Yesterday was 33, and today I'm sitting at 10 degrees, which isn't that bad, but it was drastic. And when I started the portage, everything was good. It was sort of light rain, I was up and moving, but once I got in the boat and started paddling across the lake, it got cold fast. It's almost like these lakes are their own microclimate. They really are. Not in terms of really temperature, just in terms of wind, in terms of like what you can experience from one lake to another. Yesterday I came from Merchant into Happy Isle, and Merchant was raging and windy, and I got into Happy Isle, which is only a 400 meter portage, and it was calm, just and it picked up in a little bit, but it's interesting stuff. I need somebody to explain to me how this happens, because it's starting to baffle me. So I'm going to be doing a twig stove, lunch. What time is it? My God, it's 3:30. Crazy. It's 3:30 right now. So, I think I might switch to dinner. I'm going to switch to dinner, which means it's pasta primavera time. Delicious. Whew. Well, it's been raining and the temperature is consistently dropping for 6 hours. Yeah, it's been raining for 6.5 hours, and the temp. Oh, I got sidetracked there. I'm gonna have my pasta primavera and hope that warms me up. That's good. That is some good stuff. So I'm just going to chill right now. I'm going to warm up and just relax. Got some coffee here. Pasta Primavera. It's been raining for 6.5 hours. It's starting to die down a bit. It would be great if the rain let up. So it's about 7 o'clock, and yeah, I got into camp and hunkered down, had some food, waited for the rain to pass, but it looks pretty stable right now. Extremely stable, so I want to get out fishing, but I want to get a bit of a fire going so that when I get back I can just throw stuff on, make my evening lemon water tea, and keep that ritual alive. So I've headed from the campsite. There's a fire going for me there, and I'm just doing a shoreline tour of the stacked contours. The trout. Beautiful fish, if you can see that. Beautiful. And away it goes. All right, that's 2 for the hat trick. Good morning. It's 5:30 on day 5. I'm just packing up camp. Tearing down the hammock right here. I've got a bag of breakfast, a couple Cliff Bars, some granola, fruit, dehydrated fruit, and a few other things that I'm just going to eat on the way. And I'm hoping to be at the docks by 3. Now, hopefully it's 1 or 2, but here we go. Let's see how long it takes. Looking forward to it. All right, here we go. So it is 6:30 right now, and we're headed out. All right, here we are. Sounds like there's a falls off here to the left. Nice little dock for us here. Which side to choose? Oh yeah, first part of this portage is straight up. Whew. This is a grueler. Lots of hills. Also when those portages just feel so much longer than they're indicated. Makes you feel kind of ripped off. But it's beautiful. Lots of hills though. Grueler. Like crueler. Like Bueller. But they do have these wonderful little amenities. Certainly not a technical portage. Certainly not. But what am I going to do here? Which way would you go? I'm going right here. Yeah. That's the stuff. And this rock here, yeah, to this rock. Boom. No big deal. All right, let's do this again. Hey, hey. Oh, and what do we have here? My goodness. My goodness. Let me just get a little closer to these guys for you. Yeah, that's right. Can you see me? Yeah. Hey, nature lovers. So what we have here is what the voyageurs used to refer to as fawn's trumpet, and right here, and here, and here. And they believed that in the spring, the white-tailed deer would gather around the firstborn fawn of spring, and they would present this fawn with a trumpet such as this. And if the fawn made a trumpeting sound, it would be a fruitful year. But if it didn't, and just kind of failed, and the mouthpiece wasn't right, and the reed was just a bit off, it would be a poor year for vegetation, and many deer would die. Fawn's trumpet. Okay, so I'm on Bear Island, which is a bit of a distance from the Red Rock Portage, not very far. And as soon as I got out of that bay, the wind just kicked right up, and 30, 40 plus kilometer plus gusts, and 1.5 meter waves. So it was taking everything I had just to keep the canoe straight. I was surfing waves, and we were coming close to getting eaten. I really wanted to turn the camera on, but I could not take my hands off the paddle. I had to switch from the kayak paddle to the canoe paddle because that's where I have the most control. So I'm on Bear Island, and the stump that the camera's sitting on right now is a place I know I can get service. I stayed on this site last year. It's a beautiful site. It's got a great rock cairn down there for a canoe. It's protected from the northwest wind, which usually blows in this direction, usually blows from the northwest. So there's this nice little calm pocket. So when I was in the midst of the bit of a gap there, I knew that this place was calm. I came around, called Algonquin Outfitters at the Opiongo station there, and they were able to come get me pretty quickly. So people, there is no shame in a water taxi. There's no shame. Because safety first out here, and I did not feel safe, and I was not safe out there. So I made that call. I'm gonna go back in, get all loaded up, get ready for the water taxi right now, and yeah, I'll be at the truck in less than an hour. I was looking to experience Opiongo in the canoe all the way down. Lots of great things to shoot, but next time. There's always next time.